Everyone can view, but I think I set it for everyone to edit. Okay, so let me make sure that everyone can edit because I thought that I did that.
Sylvia?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you may have to press record.
He's my co-host, so it should be okay.
I think it's recorded.
I just pressed it.
Thank you.
One with the link can, let me make sure you can edit it. There we go. See, we all learn something new. When we share documents, we can give people permission. So I'm making sure that everyone on here can edit it. Now, go right ahead and jot down your ideas for what makes a building a house. You can all write it at the same time, no problem. It'll take about 2 minutes. Get your ideas. For those of you not at a computer, maybe you're calling in. If you want to say it, I can type it for you, or one of us can type it for you. Okay, so we've got bedrooms, family gathering space, a roof, walls, doors, windows, people, space, good environment, front door. Anything else that makes a building a house? Oh, okay, Kyung put it in the, I'm going to copy what Kyung said in the chat so that we can all see it. All right, so Kyung said foundation, structure, walls, doors, windows, and roof. Fantastic. Okay, so we've established what a house is. Now, let's look at the home. What makes this house, this structure, roof, walls, doors, windows, a home? What distinguishes this a building that's a house and makes it a home? Go ahead and write your answers under the home category. And you can write it also in the chat and we'll copy it into the document as well. Okay, I've got love and warmth from Miss Eunice. I've got personalized decorations from Daisy. Keep it coming. Family from Lynette. Family from Lavinia. A sense of belonging from Pamela. Memories. Family photos, aroma of dinner being made. Oh, wow. Okay. Dogs, pets. Okay. Carol, I will recopy the link for you. Oh, someone's drawing. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So we're going to pause right there. ladies and gentlemen, I did get a message. Apparently, we need to restart this meeting, and I apologize for that. We won't lose much of anything. We'll just use the same link to restart the meeting. But this is a great place to pause. And while we finish and restart, I want you to take a minute to think about the difference between this house and this home. Okay? So I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to end the meeting, and we're going to come right back. Okay? I do apologize for this. I was under the impression that we had a different type of account, but we don't. That's okay. We roll with the punches. This is a growing opportunity. I appreciate everyone being here. Oh, Cyril came in. Okay, fantastic. All right. So we're going to end this and come right back into the difference between a house and a home. Is everyone clear on that? We use the same exact link. Okay. Actually, let me see if I can do something. Go ahead and I'm going to fix something right now. So go ahead and discuss in the chat or out loud this difference between the house and a home. Everyone who would like to speak.
All right, we are going to take care of this account issue because there is a timer in our meeting space that says we have 6 minutes remaining. So Sylvia is going offline to take care of that. And we will continue our discussion about what makes a house a home. Where we're going with this is to bring it back around to what about our clubs make them unique and welcoming and a place where people can feel that they have a home in Toastmasters. Every club has some things in common. These are analogous to the house list that we made. Clubs will have an agenda and there will be members and they'll meet in a building. It's the details that you add that give the club character that will get people talking about what you're doing, want to come visit you. And this is where we were going with this conversation. Does anyone have an example of something your club is doing that might set it apart from the normal Toastmasters experience and make it special or inviting?
I apologize. I do need to interrupt. My idea did not work for today. So I'm going to pause this right now. And I'm going to end, but we're going to come right back and we will continue this conversation. Okay? I appreciate everyone's cooperation with this. Yes, 5-minute meditation. That's awesome.
That's great. That's going to be what makes this special and welcoming.
So do we need to join every 15 minutes or so, or half hours?
No. It's 40 minutes. It's 40 minutes. So I think I think we'll be okay. So we'll come right back.
Okay. Do you need?
So while people are coming back, as Jacob was saying, we've talked about what makes a building a house, what makes that house a home, what distinguishes it. So let's talk about what makes our Toastmasters house. What's that foundation? What are the walls? What are the doors that you will find at every Toastmasters house, aka club? Yes, Jacob.
3 things every Toastmasters meeting has are prepared speeches.
Go ahead and write. Let's have everyone write it in the document.
Prepared speeches. Oh,
We've got prepared speeches.
impromptu speeches and evaluations.
Hey, Sylvia, I'm sorry, I didn't hear what we were writing.
What's in your Toastmasters house? What makes a Toastmasters house a house? The same way we need a foundation and doors and windows. What has to exist for a club to be a Toastmasters house? So I'm saying agendas, Toastmasters, prepared speeches. Toastmasters branded items. Ribbons, okay. Eunice, I'm gonna write in the document for you. Eunice says ribbons. Functionaries. Impromptu practice, eval speeches. Okay, so we have this skeleton of what makes a Toastmasters club a house, right? It has that foundation. Now, let's talk about what makes a club a home. What makes it a home? There are 178 clubs in the district, multiple clubs across the world, 350,000 members. So what makes these clubs a home? Why are people in 7 different clubs, 3 clubs, 5 clubs? What are they finding that's different at these different clubs? Okay, Eunice says relationships. Apologies, Jacob, I just took your stuff. This is what happens and then he took mine. So this is what happens when you go write in a living document. Here we go. Relationship from Eunice. What else do we have?
2, 3, 4.
Fun, fellowship, emotional support. Okay, Eunice is saying emotional support. For anyone who just joined, we are talking about what makes our clubs a home. The way that we say memories make a home versus a house, the way that photos and gatherings, the smell of Sunday dinner. Melissa's saying that validation is what makes a club a home. Special theme meetings. Daisy's saying share goodies. Encouragement. Fun. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So we're going to stop right there. So I want us to take a look at this difference between the house and the home with regards to Toastmasters. So wherever we go, one of the things that's cool about being able to go to all the different clubs around the world is that we know there's a structure that we're going to find. We know that there's going to be an agenda. We know that there are going to be Toastmasters branded items. We hope there are functionaries and that people have stepped up to volunteer and be of service. There are going to be speeches and, impromptu practice. So that would be our table topics. those things we know. So there's a way that when I visited clubs in New Jersey, in Georgia, in Florida, I know that I'm going to feel some sense of familiarity because I know what to expect, right? I see that banner, like, oh, Toastmasters, yes, amazing. Now, what makes it a home? When I visited my father in South Florida last year, I scoped out multiple clubs online throughout the Southern Florida area, right? Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, West Palm Beach. And I settled on 3. Why? For those who don't know, my dad is the original Toastmaster in my family. He joined in either 1969 or 1970 and was president of South Bay Club 280 back in the day. So anytime we're together, I tell him, let's go visit a Toastmasters club. So I decided that we would visit a bilingual club. It's English, Spanish. That we would visit a Portuguese club. And then we would go to a quote unquote traditional English speaking club. Now, there's something unique about each of those clubs. When I went to its first Portuguese Toastmasters club out in Boca Raton, they give out a grammarian award. I thought, oh, well, this is neat. This is different. So they're really encouraging and motivating people to practice their grammar. So if you're a non-native speaker and you're at this club practicing Portuguese, think about how cool it would feel to win a grammar award as a non-native speaker, which is kind of what happened to me the first time I went. So that was really cool, right? Now, I want you to share what makes your club your home, or clubs. Like I said, people are part of multiple clubs. Or maybe you visited a club and there's something special about that club that you know you haven't found anywhere else. Who would like to share? I see Jacob raising his hand. Go ahead, Jacob.
Fantastic. I'm in multiple clubs. The first club that I joined would fit in my lunch break. So there was an element of convenience. It was at my job. We could get in there, get it all done in an hour, have a nice Toastmaster meeting. And after I fell in love with that club, I started looking around at some other clubs. And now, for instance, one of the clubs I'm in is Camera Ready, which is done entirely in a Zoom meeting like this. And I was attracted to it because I love technology and the technical element of being in a remote meeting like this. I joined another club called Improv and Humor Toastmasters that incorporates theater exercises and acting technique into a piece of their agenda at the end of the meetings. And that was very fun for me. And I grew up in a theater community, so this element spoke to me. Another club that I visited recently was the Meeting Institute. They opened their meetings with a guided meditation, which is something I hadn't seen in any Toastmasters club yet. So these different elements, one that's done quickly and fits in an hour, and one that does acting exercises and helps people practice their comedy, and then one that has a spiritual element where we do a guided meditation together. And then I visited the one you invited me to, Sylvia, which was bilingual, or not bilingual. It was entirely in Spanish, and that encouraged me to sharpen my Spanish skills. So all of these elements have something to offer me that the other clubs might not have, which attracted me to them.
Thank you, Jacob. Not that Jacob's in 7 clubs or anything. Who else would like to share what makes their clubs so special? You can also write it in the chat box, and we can read it out for you. Remember to unmute yourself if you want to speak. And I know we are Toastmasters, therefore speaking is not the issue here. Technology might be, but not speaking.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hello, is that Miss Janelle?
Yes, I can share. My home club, one of my clubs is Talk Nation. It's special
Yes,
to
ma'am.
me. It's special to me because I'm a charter member, and we're actually all employees of Live Nation Ticketmaster. And the great thing about it is it's a way for us to get to know people that we work with at the same company that we don't necessarily interact with, because we're a really large company. So most of the members in the club come from different areas, and we have fun getting to know each other. And that's kind of the benefit. And we do meet at lunchtime, so we can do it within the day. My other club is Cities, and Cities is just really good people that are really supportive and give good feedback and encouragement. And that's part of what makes that club special.
Fantastic. Janelle said something about you getting to know other people. And for those of you that were alive in the 90s or maybe 80s, you might remember this. And not that we would cross brand or anything, let it be known, we do not cross brand. But I was reminded of the commercial, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Anyhow, clearly I'm not in a singing Toastmasters. However, exactly, those are the types of things that when we talk about attraction are what we can hold on to. There's a club who recently submitted an event. I believe they're Speakers by the Sea or Sundays by the Sea. And their tagline is, we leave your weekdays free to do everything else that life requires, or something along those lines. And I thought, oh, okay. So they're really appealing to people who don't want to do anything during the week. We have clubs that meet at 7 in the morning. Whether you're a retiree or you're a professional who wants to get a meeting in before you go to work, that might work for you, right? Fantastic. So let's go back to our agenda. Let me see here. Here we go. And one of the reasons I wanted to really look at this house versus a home, those things that make our clubs our home is what I want us to hone in on, okay? So when you're designing your flyers, when you're thinking about the images that you're using, when you're thinking about the events that you're producing, those are the things that will attract people to you. The people who are attracted to wanting to get to know people outside of the department, people that want some validation, people that want some support, some people who want to be in relationship with other human beings on the planet, right? Because it's not about getting everybody in the door. And one of the things that I tell people is go visit other clubs. Not only for yourself, but so that when you do have that guest that comes in, they may or may not mesh with your club's purpose, with your club's niche, with your club's environment, whatever that is. But that doesn't mean that there isn't a club out there for the writer, for the vegan, for the wine taster, for the storyteller, for the dramaturg. At Game Changers, we often look at how we invite guests and how we address them. We let them know, here are a list of other clubs in this very building 4 other clubs meet. On a Monday, there's Rough Riders. And what do Rough Riders do? And the reason I know about Rough Riders is because I know members from that group. I don't usually have the time on a Monday night to go to Rough Riders, but I know plenty of people who've gone there. So when a member comes in and says, hey, well, what about these other clubs? Well, for example, Rough Riders focuses on writers. They write a book as a club. They will help people who are published to have a book signing. Now, that might appeal to someone. It may not appeal to someone who completely wants to be a motivational speaker. It may not appeal to someone who is trying to focus on work and their presentation skills, right? And that's okay. But when we visit other clubs, we know what those clubs are about. So I haven't been to cities now because Janelle has talked about what Cities brings to the table. And I say, oh, okay, well, there's this club named Cities, and they're apparently very, very supportive. If you take a look at anything, in fact, let's go to Praise Masters, Postmasters. Oh, thank you. Right on time, Praise Masters. Okay, so Praise Masters has a Facebook page.
I'm good. How you doing, Denise?
For those who don't know about Praise Masters, who is the club of the year for District 1, I have seen in their Facebook group, let's see, they have let people know, here we go. So when they got Club of the Year, they let people know that for the second time, Praise Master took home the award of District 1 Club of the Year. They've also let people know we've produced 20 district leaders, district speech contest winners, an international director, and 2 region advisors. So again, that to me already tells me this is a club that produces leaders. If I join this club, I'm probably going to compete in a speech contest, and I'm probably going to be some sort of district leader, right? So with that, take a moment and think about what your club brings to the table. Your club. What is it that you would want to focus, and what message do you want to give to the world about what your club does? And you can write in the chat box. You can say it out loud. Take a minute. As you start thinking about that next flyer that you design, the next event that you design or organize, what's your focus going to be? Any ideas?
Well, Sylvia, this is Lavina. I haven't given thought to what our club represents, but we're a small club, and a new member asked me, what does she have to do to sign up to give another speech? And I told her the nice thing about Cities is you just tell me when you want to speak, and I'll put you on the list. So I think a benefit of joining Cities is a person can work on their presentation skills at every meeting if they want to speak at every meeting.
Absolutely. That is key. Thank you so much, Lavinia, because I had someone call today about Game Changers, and one of their questions was, how many members do you have? I said, we have 10 members. And to some people that might be a turnoff. But I'm with Lavinia. People walk in and say, well, oh, it's a kind of small. I say, yes, and that is an advantage because that guarantees that you'll be able to speak more often. I have not been a member of a club that has 30, 40, 60 people. I don't know how that works. We meet twice a week. So I can tell people you will absolutely be a functionary. You'll be evaluating. You'll be speaking. If anything, you'll definitely be doing table topics. So you're consistently working on your skills. That's an excellent point, Lavinia. Like small but mighty, right? Anyone else? Let me work down this list. Okay. So let's move on. So now you know, or you have a sense of the house that we all live in, essentially. We live in the Toastmasters house. And then we have the home that we're creating because we're all contributing to this home, right? Our club or our clubs, as the case may be. So we're gonna move on to our event submission. So now you've got your idea for your home, you know what kind of events you're going to organize, and you want to let the world know. So we're going to go over here into our event submission guide. And for anyone who's a VP of Public Relations, you have access to this document in the VPPR folder that I've sent to everyone, to all the VPPRs, I should say. And we're going to be looking at putting it on the website as well, along with Jacob. So one thing to remember is we want to have it a week before your desired publication date. Why? What's happening? So there's a few things that are happening. Is Toastmasters International is tightening up at all the branding compliance. So we need that week before you want it actually published to be able to get back to you about colors, about logos. I'm near the airport, so I apologize for the plane. The plane. So yes, logos, images. Do you need access to better quality pictures? Is your flyer, do you have a flyer? I mean, we get all sorts of things submitted to us without contact information, without dates and times. And this is really a way to help you empower yourself. Anyone can submit an event to the District 1 calendar. You go to this link here, which I will show you. It brings you to this page on our district website. And we're gonna go step by step. Everything that is on this guide we'll do with you. So you enter a title. This is rather important. We have gotten submissions with no titles or simply open house. But who are you? What club are you? Is it a themed open house? For tonight, we'll say Marketing Mondays, session 2. And our next session is going to be flyer design. So we'll look at apps to help you make phenomenal flyers. Now, in the body, So our step number 2, type the relevant description, message, and contact info. Design cool flyers with support from your PR team. Contact. All right. So again, this is just an example, but we have a contact. We have a short description of what's taking place. Now, who's the organizer? Sometimes people leave this blank. Now, 2 things that have happened already. I'm already signed in as a District 1 PR manager. So there is a step that you would need to take, which is to sign into the calendar using either your Facebook or your Google Mail or whatnot. I'm already signed in. So the organizer here, we have a list of clubs, divisions, district. I'm gonna put District 1 because it is a district event. Then I have a venue. Hopefully by the next session, everything is okay out on the west side and we'll be able to get together in person. So we have the UCLA Extension Lynbrook Center. And then we're going to choose a date and time. Oh, I see someone in the chat. Is there a question? We can, oh yes, thank you, Jacob. We can add new venues, fantastic. So what's happened up until now is there are new clubs like such as West Adams that have newly been chartered. So we don't have their information, their venues or anything yet because there hasn't been an event submission. Once there's an event submission, if you don't see your venue or even your club, let us know, we can add that. Thank you, Jacob, for that reminder. Okay, so this end date, the start time. Okay, so this is the tricky part. So in the event submission guide, it tells us, after we select the venue, start time and date, there are a few different things that we can do. We can add a feature image. This one only shows on the main calendar. So this is what happens. When we look at the event calendar, I'm going to show you the Legacy DTM event so you can see what we're referring to. And thank you everyone for using the chat. If you have any questions or comments, please, you can write in the chat box anytime. Oh, this is lovely. We'll wait for that connection to happen. Okay, let's see, did that happen? Okay, here we go. So here's the calendar as you would see it. Now notice, notice when I click on Legacy DTM, this image, this is the feature image. This is where you would see it. There's another option, event page top image, right here. Once you click on the actual event, usually you probably have a faster connection at your home. So I'll go ahead and add that featured image. So I'm going to use the Marketing Mondays again. I I select it. Again, it's going to show in the calendar, but I also want it inside the event itself. So I'm going to choose it again. And then I can submit my event. So then what happens? Before this is actually published, Jacob and I will receive notification. This is how we see it. And then from there, we can publish it. We can update it. Okay? If you don't have any pictures here and you haven't sent it to us, there's nothing that for us to add. Okay? But once we publish it, then it comes out like this. This is inside the event. See, they chose one top image, and then they had a bunch of different links. So we tell you all this because we want to empower you so that you can submit your events in a timely fashion. We can have a conversation about what's going on with branding. And you can imagine with 178 clubs, the requests that come in. Can you make us a flyer? Can you make us a flyer? Can you post this for us? It's a lot of different steps for at least two people to be going through. Okay, so we have a few more minutes. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
Not so much a question. I would like to add that it can't be understated the fundamental details of your event, the time, the date, the location, need to be in the event submission. You would be amazed at how many times we will get event submissions that don't have these crucial details. Time, date, and location. If you don't have a flyer or don't have any other details, whatever it is you don't have, make sure that the time, date, and location are on your do have list before you submit the event.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Jacob. So I was going to have us do a test run. However, technical difficulties on this side. We will forego that. However, I want to express my appreciation for everyone who did show up. We went with the flow today in changing from an in-person and live stream experience to web only. So I appreciate everyone who was able to make it. We are looking for future event hosts. I'm looking at clubs that use Instagram very well, Facebook phenomenally, Meetup, anyone who's well versed in Canva, Ripple, or other photo, video apps or other software, we welcome you. As I mentioned, the next session will be in November. I know Veterans Day is November 11th, but we're still looking at holding it. It's an evening event, so you still have the daytime to do everything that you would like to do. And that one, we are going to focus on designing flyers. So we're going to request that people bring in their laptops. It can be done on the phone or iPad if you wish. But we're really aiming to get our members, again, this is, yes, for Toastmasters, but this can be used for your business, for other organizations, your churches, your families. You know, if you have a family reunion, I mean, even, or for yourself, you know, you want to have a birthday celebration, you want to do an invite. These are things that are available to you free of cost. These apps that we're going to show you. Okay. Anyways, if there's nothing else, Jacob, would you like to add anything?
I'd like to thank everyone for attending our session. This is our first one. We intend to do this on a regular basis. And I look forward to seeing you all at a Toastmasters meeting soon.
Yes, please invite us. Invite us to come speak at your clubs. Nights are difficult for me. Maybe they're a little bit better for Jacob. But as of next week, I will have more time during the day. So morning and afternoon clubs, even early evening clubs around the LAX area, I could probably swing. So go ahead and invite us. You can reach us. I'll put it in the chat. You reach both Jacob and myself is PR@district1toastmasters.org. And we look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to send us feedback. If you want to support us with the technical side of these things, you know, I'm more about the visual and the storytelling, less on the technical. So I am always open to support. And again, if you or your club does something phenomenally, please host one of our sessions. We want to have you talk about how IG has changed your club's life, how Meetup, Yelp, Facebook, YouTube, what have you. Let us hear it. Show us what these tools do for you, and let's share it with our district. Have a fantastic evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you soon. Night.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Okay.
Oh. Now let's close this. So ideally what you do is you download it to your computer. Yeah.
I have some people writing in the chat, so we have about 30 seconds left. Please reach out to us through our email or Facebook page, Instagram.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Website. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.